That swirl at the start of every piece of written music is not decoration. It is a signature. It wraps around a single line, grabs it, and announces its name. And from that one named line, every other note on the page falls into place. 1 anchor. 5 lines. 12 notes. This is the treble clef. The treble clef belongs to a family called G clefs, and the reason is plain once you look closely. The curl at the bottom of the swirl circles the second line from the bottom of the staff. That line is G, specifically the G above middle C. Every note you place on that second line is the note G, and every note above or below it steps in the same direction as pitch. Higher on the page means higher in sound. The G line is the anchor that makes the whole system work. On a keyboard, the G sits 7 semitones above middle C. You play it and the staff suddenly has a home. With G fixed on the second line, the remaining 4 lines follow automatically. Reading from the bottom line up, E, then G, then the note B, then D, then F at the top. E, G, B, D, F. A lot of players remember that with the phrase "every good boy deserves favor." Say it once with the lines lighting up in order and it sticks immediately. The bottom line is E4, the E just below middle C on the treble staff. The G line is second. The note B sits on the middle line. D is fourth, and F crowns the top. 5 lines, 5 fixed addresses, all stepping through the alphabet in order. Now look at the 4 gaps between those lines, the spaces. Starting from the very bottom space and reading upward, the notes are F, then the note A, C, then E taken together, F, the note A, C, E. They spell the word face, which is the easiest gift in all of music reading. The bottom space holds F. The second space holds the note A. The third space holds C. The top space holds E. Every single note on the treble staff sits either on a line or in a space, alternating as the pitch steps up. There is no gap in the ladder. Lines give you E, G, B, D, F, spaces spell out face. Together they cover every diatonic step from E4 at the bottom line all the way up to F5 at the top space. Time to read some actual notes. A note appears on the staff, take a moment, find its position, and the piano below will confirm. First note, on the first ledger below the staff. That is middle C, the note C4, sitting on its own short line just beneath the bottom staff line E. The piano lights C. Second note, in the second space from the bottom. That space belongs to the note A, the note A4. The key lights up. Third note, on the fourth line from the bottom. That line is D, D5, above the middle of the staff. There it is on the keyboard. And one more, on the top line of the staff. That is F5. The treble clef covers the top half of the piano's range, from about middle C upward, which is why a right-hand piano part almost always lives here. Counting from the bottom every time is slow and brittle. Landmark reading is faster and safer. You have 2 solid anchors, the G line, second from the bottom, and the word face filling the 4 spaces. Plant those in memory and any nearby note is just a step or 2 away. You never need to count from scratch. If you see a note on the third line, you know the third line is the note B, so a note in the space just above it must be C, and one on the fourth line must be D. Our anchor, then step. That habit is what separates a reader who pauses on every note from one who reads a melody at sight. The anchors are G and the word face. Build the reflex now and every note on the treble staff becomes immediate. 2 anchors, 5 lines, 4 spaces, and the entire upper register has a written address. That is genuine reading ability, not just counting from scratch every time. Next comes the bass clef, where the low notes live, where left-hand piano parts and bass instruments are written. It runs on the same principle, one named anchor line, and everything else follows. Learn it and the grand staff, treble on top and bass below, becomes one continuous map of the entire keyboard.